Hi, this is Hands to Heart Center's Mindful Moment. My name is Jessi Rosinski. I'm a volunteer with Hands to Heart Center and happy to be here with you today. What I have planned is a bit of a spring meditation. And so before we start, a few words about Hands to Heart Center. It's a nonprofit service organization in Boston that aims to serve populations that have been affected by some kind of trauma through providing the benefits of yoga and mindfulness practices. And so today, I'll invite you to find a posture that suits your body in this moment. So whatever would be most comfortable and suitable for your unique body, invite you to find that posture. And we'll start by taking a few moments to settle in. We'll do some intentional breathing, and I have a springtime poem for us today. So as we begin, turn your attention to the expansion and contraction of the body. What areas can you most identify with this expansion, which is usually tied to an inhale, and contraction, which is usually tied to the exhale? So you could simply scan the body and see, where do you notice on the inhale some space, some opening, some expansion? And where on the exhale do you feel the release, the giving back of the air? And as you get a sense of the body expanding on the inhale and releasing and contracting on the exhale, you might deliberately slow down the breath if this feels appealing to you. And you can do that by breathing in for 5 counts and breathing out for 5 counts. So just silently to yourself, counting in for 5 and then counting out for 5 as the air releases. We'll take about a moment to work with our breath in this way. And of course, you can always just let the breath breathe naturally or take deep, slow breaths without the count. If you're interested in the count, it's in for 5 and out for 5. Your own silent count. Breath is deep and slow. Air coming in through the nostrils, rushing through the body, filling all the way up to the very bottom of the lungs. See if you can keep your attention with the breath, with both the in-breaths and out-breaths. And feel free to keep this count going or the deep, slow breaths going if you'd like. Of course, you can also release them and just let the body naturally move back to breathing at its own rhythm. We'll turn our attention to a few different parts of the body, starting with the head and face area. So if you can, noticing the top of your head, the crown of the head. And that might just be an imaginary sense of that piece of your body is here. There might not be any direct sensation. So this very top part of your head facing up towards the sky or the ceiling. And then expand that awareness so it moves down over the scalp, towards the forehead, towards the ears, down the back of the head, towards the tip of the neck. And you can bring the awareness around to the face. And can anything soften here, as if the skin is just hanging without effort? Muscles around the eyes can be invited to soften. Perhaps eyes even want to close. Can there be space between the upper and lower teeth so that the jaw is released? And if you feel some holding or tension in the mouth and jaw area, you might take the very tip of your tongue and just place it behind your upper teeth so lightly. But this can sometimes just reset the front of the face and jaw area so that it feels a little bit more at ease. Shoulders drop away from the ears. If you're sitting, notice the underside, whatever parts of your body are connected with a chair, a cushion, floor. And can you rest any more deeply on this surface? Let that surface hold you up so that your body can let go, even if just a little bit, or even just the idea of letting go. Your attention can slide down to your feet or whatever part of your lower body is connected to the ground. And you notice that connection. Your body in contact with another surface. And similarly, is there anything in this lower body, the feet, the ankles, the calves, whatever part is touching another surface that can release any amount, or even have the idea of releasing? And bring your attention to your hands for a few moments. Notice the palms. Any sensations or aliveness that you feel here. Heat or coolness. Tingling. Moisture. And the temperature of the air in the palms and perhaps the fingertips. And any other sensations that you find. They're all welcome. What we're practicing is simply coming into mindful presence, getting a sense of what our experience is like right now, in the present moment. And how about taking a look at the other side of the hands, the back side? What does the air feel like on the skin here? Any sensations of temperature, moisture, or dryness? Prickling, tingling, holding, clenching, numbness. Those are just some options of what you might find. And the sense of your hands as a whole. Fronts and backs, inside and out. with curiosity, what is it that you can sense here? And you might even see if you can get a sense of the space between the fingers. The air passing alongside your flesh. Temperature of that air. Imagine the distance from one finger to another. And if you find that the hands are a place that is capturing your interest and attention, you can feel free to stay there and continue to explore what sensations you feel in the hands. Otherwise, you might just think of your whole body as an area of sensation. You'll notice how the body feels as a whole, from head through mid-body, legs, and feet. And you can just rest here with the whole body as your point of attention, or if something like the hands, a particular tension point feels good, you can stay with that. And we'll spend a few moments just resting in this silence and this real embodied presence. And as we spend some time here, I'll share a poem. It's entitled Springtime, and it's written by Oren J. Sofer. I care too much for you and the daffodil, to cut its stem from her root in the earth. There are other things I could give you. A smooth gray stone worn by the sea says much in the palm of your hand. Still, the most precious thing I cannot give you, time spent with your own quiet heart silently loving itself. So I invite you, give yourself time, an hour or two to wander. Morning and evening light are best for this. Give your feet time to find their way among the stones and roots until you begin to see each tree as an old friend you've been longing to greet. Give your fingers time to unfold their wonder like the new spring buds, opening their hands to the unfamiliar, cool air, trusting a memory of the sun's warm touch. Stop long enough to learn their tongue, to hear their fresh and gentle voice, singing from the brown husk of winter. Visit long enough to read the smile glowing on their lips as they poke through the ground, press skyward, and unfurl their skin. Go to the woods and breathe there. Place your hands onto the burning cold of a spring stream. Let the water wash over your face. See the wind ripple and melt the silver surface of a dark pond. Lie flat across a broad boulder and let your belly touch the sky. Open the world with your arms, and the sun will greet you. You who are becoming spring, silently loving yourself. And we'll spend a moment resting in silence, taking those words in. And after this pause, I'll ring a bell to signal the end of our time. And as the sound of the bell fades, if your eyes have been closed, you can open them. You might take a couple deep breaths and move the body in any way that calls to you as a way of transitioning out of our time together to your next daily activity. And on behalf of Hands to Heart Center, thank you for spending some time in mindful presence, and I'll look forward to seeing you here again soon.